Yes. I did read some of this about the unwed mothers. Right. Now, back in the day, in the 50s and 60s, yes. Oh, when you didn't want to have a baby, right? You would give them up for adoption, right? And the birth certificate retained permanently and sealed according to state regulations. 99 years after the date of the adoptee's birth. Yes. Now, there are a lot of children in foster care. Oh. But let's say that you're in the family and you have to have three of each one that you have because either the head of your sperm as a fish, right, separates into three separate eggs, right, or when you spawn, you ovulate three different eggs. Ooh. Now, there's a big question about, well, what's been happening for the last 200 years? Now, I know there wasn't more than one of myself born in 1970, yes. But somebody's tried to suggest that, well, these triplets that I do know that need to be separated, one's got giant tits, one's just a regular woman, and one's a fucking fish. Yes. Well, back in the day, they probably gave them up for adoption, and you had a certain way as a family of getting rid of the other two, yes, so that nobody would notice that, well, where'd they end up? Now, I think that there are some actual genealogical questions about how it is that some of us got here over the last, 250 to 300 years. Now, Child Protective Services? Yes. I want my five sons, and I know that they were made from my sperm because I was there at the time of conception, and I was there at the time of birth, so there can't be five other of them. And Heidi say, well, actually, they took out the other two, and I'm like, no, we did spend a lot of time together. In fact, I was with her all. Now there are just five of them. But for some women, over the last 10 years, you've been doing your super top secret implanting of ovaries while they've been intoxicated. Kind of like they fuck their boyfriend and then they fuck their boyfriend's brother. Yes, yes, yes. There seemed to be this problem with every woman, right, has to be married to all of the triplets as that were the way. Yes. Or if you marry a woman, you have to marry her two other sisters too. Yes. Then they keep changing places the whole time. Now, baby boy 3331. Yes. I didn't read the whole thing, but I think adoptions were used quite often over the last 250 years. And for the women that volunteer that I want to give an engagement to so that I get on my knees and they're naked when I ask them to marry me, but they know I'm not going to. But I could. But they know I'm not. But I could. I'm gonna want to know. Do they have any twins or triplets that have been adopted by other parents? Now, when you go through all of the adoptions, super top secret, yes, I can't have any woman that I want to make a baby with being controlled by a triplet that happens to live in a different place in the world. Yes. And considering that you can transport babies or test tube babies, depending upon the solution that's used to keep them alive, yes, it's kind of like not swallowing a man's sperm, right? You spit it in some water, they put it in a solution, and then they make synthetic sperm out of the genetics of the actual individual. Yes. Well, this whole idea of making twins and triplets out of the women that I want to have sex with, I don't want. them to have a sister having sex through them. Yes. I want them having sex through other women or other women having sex through them that are not their actual relatives. So why don't we look for baby 3331?